right, so welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we are doing something a little bit different.
Oh, fun.
We are going to be dissecting the lyrics to a song called Villain by Kyle Schuesler.
All right. I'm familiar with this one.
This one's pretty interesting because we're trying to kind of like figure out what the story is here.
Right.
Like, what's he trying to tell us?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What's the message?
What's the message behind the words?
Totally. And I think one of the most interesting things about this song is how it really kind of centers around this phrase, like, make me the villain.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Right. It's
almost like he's asking for it.
It's like a challenge or a plea.
Right.
And it just makes you think, like, why?
It's almost counterintuitive.
Yeah.
To want to be seen as the bad guy.
It is, yeah. Why would somebody actively seek out that label?
Right, exactly. So that's what's so interesting.
Yeah, and I think when you look at some of the other lyrics around that phrase, it starts to paint a picture of somebody who's really, like, struggling. Like, they're talking about losing sleep and feeling cold.
Like emotionally numb almost.
Right, and you know that line about the place that don't feel like home? Like, it really speaks to this, like, deep sense of, like, displacement and disconnect.
Yeah, he doesn't feel comfortable where he's at.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe taking on this villain role is kind of like a way to, like, gain control in a situation where he feels powerless.
Interesting, yeah.
You know?
It's like saying, fine, you want to think I'm bad? I'm bad.
Exactly.
Get me out of here.
Like, you can call me the bad guy if it means, like, escaping this pain.
Yeah.
And I think the song also does a really nice job of using, like, contrasting imagery to, like, really highlight that feeling.
Okay.
You know, he talks about the city and the coastline.
The coastline.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, you know, you can stay in the city, the coastline that you always thought was pretty.
It's interesting that he still thinks it's pretty.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he still cares about her.
Yeah. There's, like, this hint of, like, lingering affection.
Right.
Even though there's obviously, like, a lot of hurt there, too.
So much hurt, so much pain.
Exactly. And it makes that villain label even more intriguing. Like, is he saying that to protect himself? You know?
Oh.
Is it, like, a form of self-preservation to, like, avoid getting hurt even more?
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
What about the lines where he's, like, talking directly to her?
Oh, yeah.
He says, UHTE, every song that ain't about you.
Ouch.
A selfish heart never thought to be the one to keep me hanging on.
Yeah, it's, like, brutal.
It is brutal.
And, like, almost accusatory, you know? Like, he's calling her out.
Definitely calling her out.
On her selfishness and, like, the fact that she's not appreciating him or his needs.
Right, and he's seeing it through the villain lens.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like, he's using that villain persona to kind of, like, reclaim his voice and, like, stand up for himself in a way.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that kind of like perpetuating the whole problem?
Ooh, that's a good point.
By accepting that villain role?
Yeah.
Isn't he kind of like playing into this dynamic that he's trying to escape?
I mean, that's the paradox, right? Like, that's what makes the song so relatable.
It's so real.
Because it's like we all do that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, we make these choices that might not make sense, but we do them to, like, protect ourselves.
We'll try.
Yeah, even if they're self-destructive. It's like a very human thing to do.
And it's like he's saying, okay, fine, you think I'm the villain.
Right.
I'll be the villain if that's what you want.
Exactly. And the way he keeps repeating those phrases, like, make me the villain.
Yeah.
And you can stay in the city. It really emphasizes that, like, feeling of resignation.
Right.
And acceptance. Like, he's reached his breaking point.
Yeah.
And this is the path he's chosen, even though it's painful.
And this is all in one song.
It's amazing how much emotion can be packed into, like, a few short verses.
It really makes you wonder about the stories behind all the songs we hear.
Totally.
Right, like where are those hidden depths?
Yeah, what are those, like, little narratives?
Yeah, and I think the big question here is, is he really the villain?
Right. Is he actually the bad guy in this situation?
Or is he just trying to protect himself?
Yeah. Is this just like an act of self-preservation to get out of a toxic relationship?
Right.
It's a really interesting question to think about.
It is, and maybe by understanding his perspective, we can learn to be more empathetic.
Absolutely.
So we encourage you to go check out this song, Villain, by Kyle Schuesler, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, what resonates with you?
What does this song tell you about heartbreak and blame?
And the courage it takes to walk away from something that's not serving you.
Yeah.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
For sure.
All right, well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, this was a good one.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya!
Bye.